Every morning, Jenna noticed a stray cat tapping persistently on her kitchen window. At first, she thought it was simply hungry and looking for food, but she soon realized the cat wanted her to follow it. Curiosity piqued, Jenna decided to see what the cat was so eager to show her in her backyard. What she discovered there not only left her stunned, but also revealed a hidden chapter of her own home's history. As soon as Jenna realized the cat wanted her to follow it, she put on her snow boots and winter coat and began to walk after it. She couldn't believe she hadn't realized this sooner. What if the cat had something very urgent to show her and they were too late now? Her mind raced with the possibilities as they walked deeper into her garden. They walked and walked to a part of Jenna's garden she hadn't been to before. They had to walk through thick bushes with spiky branches, ripping Jenna's jeans. She wondered where the cat was taking her. It seemed determined about where to go, as if the cat had been there many times before. Then, in the distance, she finally saw it. "Is this what you wanted to show me?" she asked the cat, who was standing beside her, its tail proudly in the air. Jenna stared at the thing in front of her. She couldn't believe this had been in her garden all these years. But what did Jenna find in her garden, and what did the cat have to do with it? The first time Jenna spotted the cat, she thought it was cold and wanted to get inside. It was scratching the glass with its paws and meowing loudly. Jenna had opened her back door, but the cat refused to get inside. Jenna had been in a hurry, so she quickly closed the door and got ready for work. When she returned to her living room, the cat was gone. The same thing happened the next day, but this time, Jenna placed a little can of tuna outside for the cat to eat. The cat eagerly ate every last bite of the tuna, but even after licking the can clean, it stayed and scratched her glass again. Jenna didn't know what to do. She eventually placed a box with a blanket outside, but that was not what the cat wanted. Jenna eventually stepped outside to pet the cat, but the cat quickly walked away. Jenna was so confused, she abruptly stood up and wanted to get back inside, but as she turned her back to the cat, it began to meow again. Suddenly, Jenna realized the cat probably wanted her to follow it. Jenna hesitated. What could the cat possibly want to show her? But then again, why shouldn't she follow the cat? She had no other plans today, so she quickly grabbed her snow boots and winter coat. As she stepped back outside, ready to walk in the snowing cold, she saw something change in the cat's demeanor. It seemed almost excited as it quickly began to walk away, straight into Jenna's garden. Jenna lived in a comfortable house with a big garden. The garden was part of the reason why she had bought the house a couple of years ago. She had wanted to fix it up and grow her own fruit and vegetables. She even had plans to build a little gazebo in her backyard where she could rink thee in the summer. But all those plans were placed on the back burner when, out of nowhere, Jenna's then-husband decided he wanted a divorce. Suddenly, the house and garden seemed bigger, and every task she had created for herself seemed like too much. Over the years, Jenna had grown comfortable with the state her garden was in, even though it was overgrown and almost unusable. As she followed the cat, she realized she hadn't been in her garden for far too long. She saw things she didn't even know were there, like a little pond and a few statues. Meanwhile, her mind raced with possibilities about what the cat could possibly want to show her. She couldn't believe she hadn't realized sooner what the cat actually wanted from her and feared they could be too late now. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through Jenna's leg. She grunted loudly, feeling blood run down her jeans. As she looked down, she realized a prickly branch had torn her jeans and her skin as well. She felt the cold wind on her leg, but there was no time to pause. Because when she looked up, the cat was almost out of sight. "Wait!" Jenna yelled, hoping the cat would hear her. But the cat just kept going. Jenna had to make a split decision. Keep following the cat or go home and bandage her leg. She sighed. She couldn't leave the cat now. She had to push through. So she ran after the cat, trying to catch up with its determined steps. The cold air filled Jenna's lungs as she ran after the cat. It suddenly hit her how big her garden actually was. They had been walking for almost 10 minutes now and were in a part of her garden she had never been to before. She wondered if she had been in this part of the garden when she first bought the house, but she hadn't, not even then. When she caught up with the cat again, she finally began to see where it was taking her. Jenna frowned at the sight before her as she walked next to the cat, who proudly looked up to her. Suddenly, the cat stopped walking and began to meow loudly. "Is this what you wanted to show me?" she asked the cat, knowing it wouldn't answer her. Jenna was standing in front of a little shed, clearly affected by the years. The wood was rotten and wet, and there was a thick layer of snow on the roof. Jenna wondered what could be inside, but she quickly noticed a big padlock on the door. It would be impossible for her to get inside without the right tools, but of course, that cat didn't know that. Jenna's eyes widened as she watched the cat deftly slip into a small hole in the shed's foundation. The shed, weathered and worn, stood as a silent guardian to secrets unknown. The cat's ease of entry and familiarity with the shed intrigued Jenna. She stepped closer, her curiosity piqued by the cat's mysterious behavior. Jenna knelt down, trying to peer into the darkness through the hole the cat had disappeared into. All she could see were vague shapes and shadows dancing in the dim light. The more she strained her eyes, the more the darkness seemed to deepen, as if the shed was guarding its secrets jealously from prying eyes. The inability to see anything in the shed only fueled Jenna's curiosity further. She stood there, pondering the possibilities of what could be inside. It was clear that the shed, neglected for so long, held something more than just old tools and forgotten memories. Jenna's heart raced with a mix of excitement and apprehension about what lay hidden within. Jenna turned her gaze back to the shed, feeling a silent message from the cat. It was as if the feline knew something significant lay inside and was determined to show her. Jenna sensed an unspoken bond with the cat, a mutual understanding that something important was waiting to be uncovered in the depths of the old shed. Resolved to uncover the mystery, Jenna straightened up and made her way back to the house. She knew she needed tools to gain entry into the shed. As she walked, her mind was abuzz with thoughts of what the shed might contain, her steps quickening with anticipation of the discoveries that lay ahead. As Jenna rummaged through an old drawer, she stumbled upon her ex-husband's collection of keys. Each key, tarnished and unique, seemed to whisper stories of their past life together. Memories flooded back, moments of love, laughter, and the eventual heartache that led to their parting. She held the keys, feeling the weight of their shared history in her hands. Jenna sifted through his belongings, each item a chapter from their shared history. Old ticket stubs, faded photographs, and handwritten notes, remnants of a life once lived together. As she searched, her heart ached with nostalgia, each object a reminder of what once was and what could no longer be. Every trinket Jenna found evoked a complex tapestry of emotions, joy intertwined with sorrow. A dried rose from a long-ago anniversary, a note scribbled in his familiar handwriting, each piece a bittersweet reminder of love lost. The memories, both tender and painful, hung heavily in the air as she continued her search. Amidst the sea of memories, Jenna's fingers brushed over old letters and faded photos. Each one seemed to hold a clue, a piece of the puzzle of their past. She couldn't help but pause, reading over lines of affection and promises, now echoes of a bygone era, as she delved deeper in search of the key. Then, nestled in a corner of the drawer, Jenna found a key that caught her eye. It was old, with an ornate design, and it seemed to hold the promise of unlocking the shed's secrets. Her heart quickened at the thought, a flicker of hope igniting within her. This key, perhaps a remnant of a forgotten past, might just be what she needed. Handling her ex-husband's belongings, Jenna was enveloped in a whirlwind of emotions. Each item was a testament to their once shared life, echoing the love they had and the loss that followed. The physical touch of these objects brought a visceral reaction, a tangible connection to the intangible feelings of her past. Every object Jenna touched seemed soaked in nostalgia, each bringing a sharp twinge of pain along with the memories. The remnants of their life together, a once cherished gift, a photo from a vacation long past, were now artifacts of a chapter that had closed, leaving a bittersweet taste in her heart. In the quiet solitude of her search, Jenna found herself confronting the ghosts of her past relationship. The silence of the house echoed her thoughts, allowing her to reflect on the love lost and the lessons learned. It was a journey through the corridors of her heart, revisiting the joys and sorrows that had shaped her. As Jenna delved deeper, she unearthed more than just physical items. She uncovered layers of buried emotions. Each discovery was a reminder of what had been, a narrative of their shared history now etched in her heart. These relics, once symbols of their love, now served as milestones on her path to healing. As Jenna prepared to leave the house, a sense of closure enveloped her. She had come searching for a key, but in the process, she had unlocked more than just the mystery of the shed. She was leaving behind not only a drawer of memories, but also the lingering pain of her past. Back in the house, Jenna steadied her breathing, finding strength in her resolve. The mystery of the shed, like a siren call, beckoned her to uncover its secrets. Clutching the key firmly, she felt a surge of determination. This was more than just a physical journey. It was a step towards facing her past and embracing whatever lay ahead. Jenna gathered the necessary tools, a flashlight for vision, gloves for protection, and a crowbar for entry. Each item represented her readiness to confront whatever the shed held. Her hands gripped the tools with a newfound sense of purpose. This was not just about breaking into an old shed. It was about breaking through the barriers of her own apprehensions. As she approached the shed, Jenna's heart pounded with a mix of excitement and fear. Her steps were deliberate, each one taking her closer to the unknown. The overgrown path to the shed seemed symbolic of the journey she was on, one that required her to push through the neglected parts of her life to find answers. Standing before the shed once again, a fleeting wave of doubt washed over Jenna. The daunting, weathered structure stood like a gatekeeper to forgotten tales. She paused, her mind racing with possibilities of what lay within. Could she handle the truths that might be uncovered? Taking a deep breath, she steeled herself for the next step. With the tools firmly in her grasp, Jenna approached the shed. Her resolve solidified with each step. This was it, the threshold of discovery. The padlock, now a mere obstacle, was all that stood between her and the secrets of the past. She raised the crowbar, ready to break through the barrier and unveil the mysteries hidden for so long. Approaching the shed, Jenna's first attempt to unlock the padlock was met with resistance. The lock, encased in ice, refused to budge. She exhaled a visible breath in the cold air, her determination unwavering. The frozen barrier, a testament to the shed's long neglect, became her first real challenge in uncovering its hidden secrets. The bitter cold nipped at Jenna's fingers as she struggled with the lock. Each movement was a battle against the frost, her breath forming clouds in the frigid air. Despite wearing gloves, the icy metal of the lock seeped through, a relentless reminder of the harsh winter enveloping her in the shed. Jenna's resolve only grew stronger amidst the freezing conditions. Her fingers, though numbed by the cold, continued to work diligently on the lock. The frost that hindered her progress only fueled her determination. She was not just fighting against the cold, but against the barriers of her own past. The stubbornness of the lock tested Jenna's patience. Each failed attempt to turn the key was met with a growing sense of frustration. She took a step back, assessing the situation, her breath steady in the cold air. Refusing to be deterred, she prepared herself for a more forceful approach. This lock would not stand in her way. Realizing that the key was no match for the frozen lock, Jenna turned to the crowbar. She gripped it firmly, a sense of finality in her actions. If subtlety wouldn't work, then sheer force would have to do. She positioned the crowbar against the lock, ready to break through the last barrier to the shed's secrets. Jenna exerted all her strength against the frozen lock, her muscles straining with the effort. The crowbar became an extension of her will, a tool wielded with determination. She grunted with each pull, her breath forming clouds in the cold air. The steel, unyielding at first, gradually began to creak under the relentless force of her resolve. This physical challenge quickly turned into an emotional trial for Jenna. Each tug at the crowbar was a confrontation with her own limitations and fears. Sweat mingled with the icy air, a testament to her exertion. The shed, standing as a metaphor for her personal barriers, was now being pried open by sheer force of will. With a final, desperate effort, Jenna gave it her all. The lock, after a tense standoff, yielded with a loud snap. The sound echoed in the silent garden, marking a victory not just over the physical barrier, but also over her inner doubts. Her breath, visible in the crisp air, was a sign of both exhaustion and exhilaration. The shed door creaked open slowly, as if reluctant to reveal its secrets. The hinges groaned under the weight of years, and a sliver of the unknown beckoned Jenna from within. She peered inside, the dim interior holding shadows and possibilities. This door was more than an entry. It was a portal to the past, now ajar. Stepping into the shed, Jenna was engulfed by a rush of anticipation and fear. The air inside was musty, heavy with the scent of forgotten years. Her heart raced as she crossed the threshold, each step a venture into the unknown. The darkness inside was a canvas for her imagination, painting pictures of what secrets might be waiting to be uncovered. As Jenna closed the shed door behind her, darkness enveloped her. The blackness was absolute, a thick blanket that seemed to swallow every ounce of light. She stood still for a moment, letting her eyes adjust, the silence around her almost tangible. In this void, Jenna felt a profound sense of isolation from the world outside. In the pitch darkness, Jenna felt a gentle nudge at her ankle. It was the cat, its familiar purr a comforting sound in the enveloping blackness. The presence of the cat, warm and reassuring, gave Jenna a sense of companionship. She crouched down to stroke its fur, grateful for the small creature's company in this unknown space. As Jenna's hands explored the darkness, they brushed against various objects. Each item was a mystery, its shape and texture a puzzle in the absence of light. Her fingers traced over surfaces and contours, piecing together a mental image of the shed's contents. The tactile exploration brought a mix of curiosity and unease. The air inside the shed was thick with the scent of dust and age. Each breath Jenna took was laden with the weight of undiscovered secrets and forgotten stories. The stillness of the air, heavy with the past, seemed to press against her, heightening her sense of anticipation about what secrets lay hidden in the darkness. Finally, Jenna switched on her flashlight, piercing the darkness with a beam of light. The shed's contents slowly emerged from the shadows, revealing themselves to her eager eyes. The light moved across the space, illuminating corners and crevices, each sweep of the beam a revelation ready to uncover the secrets of the past. Jenna's flashlight illuminated an old art studio, a capsule of time left undisturbed. Easels stood like silent guardians, holding canvases that captured moments frozen in paint. The air was thick with the presence of an artist's dreams and aspirations, each brushstroke a testament to a passion long forgotten, yet preserved in this hidden sanctuary. Scattered around were paints and brushes, their colours faded yet vibrant with stories untold. Tubes of paint lay squeezed and forgotten, their hues once vibrant now dulled by time. The array of brushes, each with bristles hardened by the years, spoke of a creative spirit that once flourished in this secluded space, now silent yet still resonant. The beauty and sadness of the abandoned studio struck Jenna profoundly. It was as if the artist had suddenly left, leaving behind a world of unfulfilled dreams. Each unfinished piece was a whisper from the past, a silent echo of artistic endeavors that once filled the space with life and creativity, now resting in the quiet dust. Amongst the canvases, Jenna found a painting that took her breath away. It was of a garden, eerily similar to her own, painted with such detail it felt alive. The garden in the painting seemed to mirror her own backyard, capturing its essence in a way that was both familiar and otherworldly, as if seen through the eyes of another. Jenna felt a deep kinship with the unknown artist, their shared love of nature, bridging the gap across time. The painting of the garden was a silent conversation between two souls who had never met. She felt a profound connection to the artist, a kindred spirit who had once found solace and inspiration in the same natural beauty that surrounded her home. In a cozy corner of the studio, Jenna's flashlight revealed a tiny kitten nestled close to the cat. Its eyes blinked open, meeting Jenna's with an innocent gaze. The discovery of this new life in such an unexpected place symbolized a beginning, a fresh chapter waiting to be written in Jenna's own life story. Overwhelmed by a wave of compassion, Jenna knew she couldn't leave the cat and its kitten in the cold, forgotten studio. The decision to take them into her home and heart seemed to make itself. In that moment, caring for these creatures felt like the most natural thing in the world, a spontaneous yet profound promise of protection and love. As she gently scooped up the kitten, Jenna felt the sudden weight of responsibility and the rightness of it. Becoming a guardian to these animals was unexpected, but it filled her with a sense of purpose. This was not just about sheltering them, it was about embracing a role she hadn't known she was ready for. Holding the kitten close, Jenna felt a bond forming, a connection that went beyond mere companionship. The cat, once a stranger tapping at her window, now felt like an old friend. This unexpected family, formed in the most unlikely of circumstances, brought a sense of completeness she hadn't realized she was missing. With the cat and kitten in her arms, Jenna stepped out of the shed, resolved to give them a loving home. As she walked back towards her house, the weight of the past seemed to lift, replaced by a warmth that radiated from her new companions. This act of kindness was not just about changing their lives. It was about transforming her own. As Jenna began cleaning the studio, she uncovered letters and journals tucked away in nooks and crannies. Each piece was a fragment of the previous owner's life, their thoughts and dreams captured in ink. The letters, yellowed with age, and journals, brimming with sketches, offered Jenna a glimpse into the soul of the artist who once inhabited this space. The writings revealed a life passionately devoted to art, nature, and solitude. Jenna read of the artist's love for the quiet moments of creation, their bond with the natural world, and the solace they found in their art. These intimate confessions resonated with Jenna, painting a picture of a soul similar to her own, seeking refuge in the beauty of expression and the natural world. Immersed in the artist's world, Jenna felt a stirring within. The passion and dedication evident in every word reignited a creative spark she had long neglected. Surrounded by the legacy of this unknown artist, Jenna felt an overwhelming desire to pick up where they left off, to blend her spirit with theirs through the act of creation. Compelled by a newfound inspiration, Jenna approached the half-finished painting. With each stroke of the brush, she felt as though she was connecting with the artist, bridging the gap between past and present. As the painting neared completion, it became a collaboration across time, a beautiful synthesis of two souls sharing a love for the garden and its tranquility. The story culminates with Jenna rejuvenating the garden and studio. Surrounded by her new feline family, she instilled new life into the once neglected space. The garden bloomed anew, a symbol of Jenna's growth and healing, and the studio buzzed with creativity. In this haven, she found peace and purpose, her life enriched by the legacy of the artist and the companionship of her feline friends.